Hey everyone, this is Aaron Pine with Sacred Vision Designs and wanted to talk to you today about work as a spiritual practice. Now, most of the time when you think of spirituality and practicing spirituality, you think of doing yoga, doing meditation, and being out in nature. Those are things more commonly associated with spirituality and spiritual experiences. But I want to share a concept that I've been working through and working with is your work as your spiritual practice. And not to say those other things aren't great and definitely add value to your life in your spiritual practice, but also bringing that aspect, that level of presence and connection to your work. I believe many of us are here to do some sort of work, to create something and help with the process of transformation, healing, and bringing positive change to the world and other people's lives. And through that process is our work. And even those great spiritual masters who many of us look up to or read about, they were doing some sort of work. It might have just been doing healing work or teaching, but often you'll find that they became very busy in many ways, running here and there, teaching and assisting people. So it became their work as a spiritual practice. And we all have our own different gifts, our different paths on how we're going to do that and how we're going to bring that change, that transformation out to the world through us. But beginning to shift your perspective, if you're not already there, allowing your work to be your spiritual practice or part of your spiritual practice. Like I said, bringing that healing, that transformation, that presence, that integrity that you kind of seek and work with in meditation or yoga or qigong or whatever other practice you have, and bringing that movement, that action, that intention in your work and bringing that out to the world from that point, from that place, from that center place where you're connecting with your spiritual potentiality, your wisdom, your higher self, your soul, your higher nature, and allowing that to come through you and out into the work you're doing, allowing to stay connected and integrated with that while you're doing work. And this could be anything. I mean, it can be a day job where you're in sort of a corporate environment and allowing that to come through in that and transform that. And some of you out there might be saying, well, that's not really possible, the job I do, but I'm sure it will. There'll be ways where you can begin to bring that in. If nothing, it's going to make your work an easier process because you'll move into more of a present state. If you can hold that in your work, you'll find that your work situation will change. It could mean that maybe you get shifted to a different position, you get moved up. It could even mean you get fired and something else better is waiting for you. But we want to bring that presence into whatever we're doing, particularly work, because majority of us spend a lot of our time at work, in work. So if we can hold that state of presence and connection while we're doing work, we'll find a greater capacity of creative ideas, inspiration, and be able to begin to make a greater impact on whatever it is we're doing. So as we hold that spiritual practice in our work, we begin to transform the work and the work itself and how we feel about the work and how we feel while we're working. And I've seen two different schools of thought in spirituality and also kind of the business success world. There's this idea of, well, I want to work less and have more time to play. Or there's the extreme of that where you're kind of the workaholic and you're using it as sort of an escape mechanism. And I think there needs to be a balance there depending on what your path is. But for many of us, I think our work is a big reason we came here in this world. Obviously we each have our own things to heal and transform within ourselves, but as part of that process, we can bring that out into the work we're offering to the world. And the world needs some help. Let's face it, there's a lot going on. So the more that we can each bring forth our full energy, our full capacity to bring out the work and change in whatever modalities, areas, skills that we have, the earth needs it, the world needs it. So I really encourage you to find this place within yourself of presence and connection and bringing that out into the world and whatever gifts you have, and allow that to ripple out into the world for positive transformation. I'm finding myself more and more that other things that maybe were just kind of for fun, although they're important to me, they're not as becoming less important, I guess, in certain ways, and feeling more of my energy wanting to guide me to work more and figure out different ways that I can bring forth, my wisdom, my gifts, my skills out to the world to help others in as many different kind of situations as I can. So just finding myself coming back to it more and being more excited and less is interested in other things that maybe before just kind of seemed fun or to pass the time, where I feel more of this need to bring out all the gifts I have. And I'm finding other people are feeling this as well, that there's sort of this surge of energy and inspiration people are feeling. And once you kind of get on that, get in tune with that, you'll find that you feel more active and energized in your work, because this energy is coming through, this presence, this wisdom, this connection, because it's what you came here to do. It's you're aligning with your purpose for incarnating, for being here, and you'll find your work begins to expand from that because you're in the state of presence and connection with that. So I hope this inspires you if you kind of are starting to feel like that, or thinking about shifting, or just need a different way of working and changing your perspective about how you work in the world. So I hope this helps you, and thanks so much for watching, and many blessings to you on your path.